Spring's Culture Cast is brought to you by the Smoke Brush Foundation for the Arts, by UCCS Theatreworks production of the Santaland Diaries, by Newspeak, by a generous grant from the B. Vradenberg Foundation, and by viewers like you. Thanks for your support. Check us out on Pikes Peak Library District, Channel 17, every night at 6 o'clock, and on KRCC 91.5 FM, Monday through Friday at 11:55 a.m. and 8 o'clock p.m.
Today was the official opening day of Santaland!
What is Santaland Diaries?
It is a story about, David, seriously? It's a story about David Sedaris who worked as an elf in Macy's Santaland when he was looking for work as an actor. So now he's stuck me with it. And it's not fun some days, but then some days it is. Shh. Okay.
So this is like a one-man show, right? So it's all on your shoulders.
It's all on my shoulders. Yes, it's all on my shoulders. Yes. No. Yes, it's all on my shoulders. And little sick boy. It's my sick boy and me, on whose shoulders it lies.
It seems like you might be cracking under the pressure.
That is not out of the question. All of the Santas have different routines. Some of them want the children's names. So as you are leading the child from the magic tree, you say, "What was your name again? It's right on the tip of my mind where I can't get at it." And the child says their name, and then you say, "That's right, Van." And then you lead the way to the door, and you say, "Let me just check and see if he's ready." And you poke your head in and whisper, "Van." And then half the time, you'll usher the child into the room, and Santa will say, "Stan, it's so good to see you." The pressure is humongous, because basically the audience comes waiting to see if the actor will die on stage.
And how's it been working with Jim Jackson?
He's very sick, and it's been a pleasure to share his sickness. And he's funny, too. But he's not elf-sized, so he could not play this role.
Yeah, it'd be foolish or silly with him up here, wouldn't it?
It could not be any more silly than it is now, but I think it would be sicker if he were up here.
Yeah, there'd be a weird darkness over it all.
There would be a cloud, yes, that he would cast with his large body.
So, Jim, now you're at Theatreworks for some reason. What's going on?
Well, with all the construction out there on Austin Bluffs, I just took a wrong turn, and here I am. It was only 20 miles between here and Manitou, but I'm very happy to be here.
And you're directing the Santaland Diaries for the second time.
Yes. Theatreworks did this production 2 years ago with Kelly Walters in the starring elf role, and I directed that, and so we had so much fun. We thought we'd try it again. Foolish us.
How is it doing something like this that's, typically with what you do at the Manitou Art Theater, it's stuff that you kind of create and produce. How is it doing something that's more solidified and actualized prior to your involvement?
Well, that's the thing with actualized and solidified kinds of things. They're just kind of there, boxing you in, forcing you to deal with the problem of them. Unlike stuff you make up yourself, you can just fudge and go around the corners and stuff. So, but it's been a very disciplinary activity for me. I think it's really caused me to rein in my own outlandish creations and concentrate on following the script. Because David Sedaris has written very, very funny words, and we are doing our best to support those.
Do you ever get very angry with Kelly?
Never. 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 Never! Never! Never.
It's hard to keep the names straight. And some of the names are names I've never heard of. Venetia. Fontage. Great. A child named Great. I'm great! That is a name which is bound to prove challenging once he gets old enough to start sleeping around. Santa Howard uses names. He sits the kids on his lap and asks if they've been good and what they want for Christmas, and then he asks them what they plan to leave him on Christmas Eve. And they say, cookies and milk. And he says, what kind of cookies? And they say, chocolate chip, or whatever. Then Santa Howard insists that the photo elves say, chocolate chip? That's Santa's favorite cookie! I don't mind saying it, but I must have said it 60 times today.
So you did this play 2 years ago, correct?
Yes, I did.
And what was that experience like, doing it for the first time?
It was frightening.
And do you think this experience will be similarly frightening?
It's still very, very frightening.
What are the biggest challenges of doing a one-man show?
Trying to remember where you are at any given moment.
Is it easier to direct a one-man show than it is to direct an ensemble kind of cast?
Well, it is not easier. You may think it would be. It is easier to keep the dressing rooms clean, but beyond that, it's more difficult because there's nobody to blame. You just have that one actor and the director, and they just have to duke it out between them.
It's like a game of shifting the blame.
Well, the blame game. Isn't that what's Christmas all about?
It is in my family. Tell us about what is your vision for this? If people saw this thing 2 years ago, why should they see it again? What's your vision for this production as opposed to the 2 years ago production?
Well, I solidly believe that this production is funnier, more colorful, more creative, more exotic, and they'll probably be giving free candy canes out at the door. That alone should motivate people to buy a ticket and come down.
Is this a children's show?
This is not a children's show. This is a show for adults who are children at heart. Dark, mean, and ugly children at heart. But it is not a child's show.
Will children be turned away? Maybe it's like a mature child who understands the nuances of humor and regret.
Children will be turned away, even if they understand the nuances of Christmas tragedy. They will be turned away unless they pay the doorman a hefty bribe. We're talking $50 at least.
In the afternoon, Santa Howard got an Asian child who wasn't familiar with the idea of leaving cookies. So when he asked her what she wanted to leave him to eat, she got a puzzled look on her face. He said, something round to eat? And she said, a potato?
What else would you like to add about this production that maybe I just don't know enough about to ask you?
You should really do your homework. I mean, this is a very small script. It only takes maybe 20 minutes to read, and then you could ask us more elucidating questions, because I think we've really just confused people. And that is the Christmas spirit.
Springs Culture Cast is a sponsored project of Fractured Atlas, a nonprofit arts service organization. Contributions in behalf of Springs Culture Cast may be made payable to Fractured Atlas and are tax deductible to the extent permitted by law. Please visit springsculturecast.com to find out how you can make a quick and easy donation that will help keep this program on the air.